we were talking about.
We're talking about entrepreneurship, and you came here. You were going to
I went to the Web Summit in Dublin.
In Dublin.
And somebody sent me an invitation for this event.
Yeah.
And so, on my way to Dublin, I said, you know what? Since this is happening in Morocco, Morocco is so close to Europe. I'm definitely just gonna make the trip down.
And you're in Jamaica, right?
I'm from Jamaica, yeah. So I was planning to be around in Europe until actually this Friday, but once I heard about the summit, I had to change my ticket, and so I came to Morocco.
How did you hear about it?
So I'm a Global Shaper, the World Economic Forum's Global Shaper community, and so they sent out an invite. There's a large delegation of Global Shapers here, maybe about 100, I think. A lot of them from Morocco, and so they formed a relationship with the GES to allow Global Shapers access into the event, and they sent out this invite to a bunch of people around the world. One of the shapers from my hub in Kingston sent it to me, and I said, okay, that's really cool. If I'm already going to be there, just head down. Yeah. And so I changed my ticket, made all the plans, came over to Morocco. Yeah, but a big part of why I came was actually because I saw that you were going to be here.
Seriously?
Yeah, so this is why I stopped you today.
And you are in the hotel business, you were saying?
Well, I am looking to enter into the hotel business. So far what I have is a lifestyle and travel business that brings together pretty established, successful people inside resorts. So luxury resorts, what we do is we shut them down. So the last event I did was at the end of September at the GoldenEye Resort in Jamaica.
Yeah, I've been there.
Which, okay, so you're familiar.
Yeah.
So the resort used to be owned, or the property used to be owned by Ian Fleming, who wrote all the James Bond novels right on this property.
Yes.
And now it's owned by a gentleman by the name of Chris Blackwell, really cool guy. He is Bob Marley's former manager and the founder of Island Records, which he sold. So now he owns this pretty cool, exclusive, but very laid-back property on the north coast of Jamaica. And what we did was we booked out all the rooms and crafted an event called the Destination Experience. And so we presented this to a community of invited guests. Quite a few came in, a lot of Jamaicans came as well, and we had a pretty successful event in Jamaica, bringing together luxury brands in a way that has kind of never been done. You know, that focus has never been put on.
And this is your model, this is what you want to do.
Yes, so this is my model, and essentially now what I'm going to do is transfer that into the hotel industry. So if I can craft these experiences independently on a weekend based on relationships that I have, how can I translate that into something more permanent, which would essentially be having my own hotel.
That's awesome.
Right?
And look, you know, I listened to you, and we just met a few minutes ago. You can tell the passion that you have, right? And you have the personality, and you already have in your mind what you want to do. So I always tell my entrepreneur colleagues is you gotta create the world in your mind, and then you put that into the cloud. Right? What is that dream that you want to accomplish? When I started my yoga business, I said I wanted to be a #1 brand in America. And here I am in an upstate New York, in a closed factory with 5 factory workers. And if you think of the world of yogurt in America, $7 billion company, and if you think about the competitors that you have, it's 2 largest global companies that dominate in the yogurt world. And if you take the film back to where I am, sitting in that town, in a very old factory with 5 factory workers, and thinking that I am going to be the #1 in the future, right? If you give that idea to somebody else, they will say that you're crazy, right? But in a way, we are crazy. If you're not crazy, you couldn't think stuff like this. I always think about this kind of a story. And they saw this ant, you know, ant, the little ant, and they saw him, and he says, he was on the road going. He says, "Where are you going?" He says, "I'm going to Mecca. You know, the Muslims, they go there to pray." He says, they laugh at him. He says, "With that feet, with that body," and they look at so much way to go, they laugh at him. "How are you gonna go there?" And he said, at least I'm gonna try, even if I die." Right? So that's where we are. Entrepreneurs and startups are the distance that we have to go, and the goal that we have is very big and very large. But we put that into our dream, and then we focus on every day what we do. Right? Because if you think about that big dream, you're gonna get lost and you're gonna give up. You put it in your mind, in your horizon, and then you start thinking about what you're gonna do every day. The everyday doing it is if I give an example from my work, is how the cup looks. How does the packaging look? How's the case card going? My single one customer, how is he doing? My few customers, how are they doing? What's in my Facebook? What's in my Twitter? How are the people around me doing? And I go to factory floor, right? I am packing first 200 cases myself on October of 2007. October of 2007, 300 cases. I packed it by hand myself with my 5 colleagues. But 7 years later, I had 2 million cases and I became #1 brand in the country. But if I didn't do that, I could have never come there. And people always, this is the simplest message that you can give it to any startup entrepreneur. You put the dream up there. You focus on every day what you do.
Get in the ground.
Get in the ground.
Yeah.
And as you grow, you never keep your eyes off from the ground.
Yeah.
But start to see bigger and bigger and bigger picture.
So when I approach